Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final episode of First Touch for the winter split, at least until we get to the major.
Before we get into the video, I just have to let all of you know that over 50% of our viewers, 50% are not subscribed to the channel. We are on the road to 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and we need your help to get there. So please hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and enjoy the video.
Dazzering, Roll Diz, and Tbates here today. We got a lot to talk about.
Wait.
What the heck?
Where's Bates? Does that
What?
wait?
Did I get the
Bates
schedule
pull a
wrong?
Michael Jackson? Wait.
Yo, you gotta chill out, bro. You gotta chill out. You didn't have to say that. You didn't have to say that. Well, we got Johnny Boy here. Johnny Boy, welcome to the show, I guess. How you doing, Johnny?
Yeah, doing good. Yeah, I'm actually a little bit concerned though, because what's really happening here is I got notified an hour ago Bates wouldn't be able to make it, and I asked would I be able to fill in his place. I said of course, and then it crossed my mind. Wait a minute, why am I the first person that they think of to replace Bates? Like, should I be worried? Should I be concerned that I was even thought of as a potential replacement for Bates? I've seen his takes recently. He's been going down a slippery slope. And
Oh,
yeah,
no.
I'm definitely worried that I was considered in this position.
Oh no. I don't think that that's necessarily the case. I think that you two have this kind of we'll call it camaraderie that when you guys are. You guys are going at it. It just felt like you got to bring in the what.
I think the next most like the guy who will stand on his hill. I think.
Okay,
it's like the skip to his shed,
and you don't shift.
right?
I could see that.
Exactly. That being said, though, everybody, please definitely give some well wishes to Tbates. He's not necessarily feeling really good today, so if you are watching this, definitely make sure to send some love to Bates because he is kind of going through some stuff right now. He's okay, but he's just not necessarily feeling the best. So, again, big shout outs to Johnny for coming in to fill in for Tbates here for First Touch today. And about that, let's talk about the show because, like we said, it's major time. You guys are going to be able to make. You see it, chat's bracket. You guys are going to be able to make a bracket today. We're going to talk about the Ally Open first class, some 1v1. So also that was a great reason to have you on here as well, Johnny. Some top 25, some lists as well. I actually, I was really smart asking Johnny to get on here today. Now I'm thinking about it. Some other topics should we be able to get there. But first things first, let's talk about the Ally Open. Luminosity and Williams Resolve win the Allies Open. The Ally Women's Open event, Luminosity won in NA and Williams Resolve won in EU. We have some clips. Let's roll those highlights as well as we get ready to talk about it. The Ally Women's Open was a fantastic event that happened over the course of the weekend, Roll Diz, and it's great to be able to see this level of support given into the Women's Rocket League scene.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. We can see like they are at the level. Honestly, you see some of these shots that are coming in, and my good, look at this.
Look at that.
Right. Top corner. I remember there was a disconnect that happened right there in that moment, and everybody was like, "What is going on?" And then all of a sudden, Tally with a double tap. But there's like 3 teams in North America that have these names that you would recognize just seeing on the field. And then in EU, there was a couple. Like I remember, I seen Rose Blushes from ERN Roar. She's going crazy, absolute insanity. The talent that we've seen in this Allies Women Open is crazy.
Yeah, it definitely is. NA's top 3 that he was talking about: Misfits, Luminosity, and of course GG Mobile One Racing Black. You see, I got the black on today because I want to say something too, because apparently there's something going on. I think Luminosity's trying to start a rivalry with me because they ended up playing in women's carball a week ago before this event, maybe a week ago, and it was GG versus Luminosity. And you know me, I'm in the Twitch chat, I'm getting all hype and everything, woo woo. So I wasn't able to watch the NA Allies Open, but I got added on Twitter because Luminosity was in the chat talking about some where's Daz. Listen, just because I was shopping for my major fit and I wasn't in the Twitch chat doesn't mean that I disappeared when the team started losing. They're always trying to spin a narrative on me. That's all I got to say. Here's the bracket, by the way. Johnny, have you been able to catch any of the Allies Women's Open over the course of the weekend?
I've not been able to watch as much as I'd like, but you know, what I have seen from clips and from tuning in just sporadically throughout the event, I've been very impressed. I'm looking forward to seeing more of this. I mean, the fact that the grand final also went to Game 7 is brilliant to see, because with newer events like this, you often just see one super team running away with it. But we're seeing some real competition here. I'm looking forward to seeing that rivalry develop, and hopefully we can see Gen G, you know, step up and maybe make that final as well. Dazzer, and I know you're going to be devastated about that third equal. You know, this is not where you want to see that Gen G Mobile 1. You want to see them a little bit more to the right of the bracket, but yeah, there's some really great stuff here. It's wonderful to see the chance for the women to compete.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the NA bracket. Let's take a look at the EU bracket as well. Like I said, this one, very, very cool just to be able to see that kind of, like I said, level of support. And of course, I think all of us here, especially on First Touch, want to see that continue on. It's been, you've seen it on Twitter. You've seen it over the course of the community. There's a lot of passion behind the Women's Rocket League scene. And to be able to give them this grand stage, one on the Rocket League channel, two with this large tournament that Ally sponsored, it is definitely good to see. And hopefully it's something that is kind of foreshadowing the future of just more events being able to support it. So that being said, Raul, in terms of the players that you know, especially on like that NA side, you said you had some familiar names. You gotta give me a couple. Who are we watching out here?
Watching well, majority of Gen G Black is names that you should recognize. Bella, it's a big name that goes around. You got Tallyberg, who's was popping off, absolutely dominating. And then even on Luminosity, you have Nacho, Snub. They're the duo on that team. They were going absolutely insane with Drea on the back lines. I mean, bro, the NA specifically full of talent at the top, and you can tell that these women are grinding. They're grinding and they want to shine, especially when they get the opportunity like this. And we need more tournaments like this so that we can get more depth in our women community.
Absolutely. So please guys keep an eye on that, and then of course, try to get more involved into the scene, be able to follow your favorite players and develop, because it does get spicy too. I mean, I see it get spicy. There'll be a little bit of back and forth between the players in the Twitch chat. They're not afraid to share a couple of words before game day, so it's definitely very solid and definitely worth watching as well. Something else that was worth watching was First Class last week. If you missed it, oh my God, you missed something. You know what? For those who have missed it, we have a quick highlight reel of some of the good moments that happened. Let's take a look at the highlights.
Just gotta be honest, right? Because we just got to stay out of the bottom two. Garrett 3 years ago thought there were 51 states. Jack a year ago tried to change the days from 24 to 26 hours.
Nah,
so realistically, we're in a good spot if we're not those two. So it's just get them all.
Garrito, you're up next. Where you want to go on the board?
I think I'm gonna go to my level of expertise here. We're gonna go to geography level 1. Let's do it.
No. Oh no.
Geography level 1 is good.
What's the question, Professor?
Let's look at geography level 1.
What was the
How
50?
many states are in the United States?
Oh man!
Wait,
Why is there three? Why is there 3 right answers?
51. The RLCS land
Mama
record
ain't
for
raising
goals
no-
scored in a game is 5. But how many times has that been done?
Looks like you're about to lose 5,000 points
1,
later.
5, 4,
No one has
or
scored
7?
6?
I think it's
Yeah, because I've scored. Yeah. Okay.
Come on.
Oh, right,
Oh,
Jack.
people just farm the Australian teams, man. I have no idea.
Wait, hang on. Can we get a timer? Can we get a timer on this? Can we...
2.
I'm going with
It
my
has to be. It has to be one
I
answer,
switched
right?
it. I switched it.
There's only one answer, surely.
Come on, Garrett. Come on now,
Let's
Garrett.
reveal the answer.
Come on now, Garrett.
I got this wrong.
Oh my gosh, I was
Garrett.
gonna.
Wait,
Did anyone get it right? No one got it right.
No one got it right. Get some score,
Garrett, bro.
So basically, he passed Garrett this season. He's 10,000 score above Garrett, while he's played 204 fewer games.
4-season head start.
We're gonna get like 3 seasons. 3 seasons.
They played 4 games in the first season.
3 seasons.
All right, let's reveal the answers here. The correct answer was 6. Let's see what our contestants put down.
Wave through it.
Come on
We
now.
got B, we got B, we got B, we got 6. And of course, this forgot to press enter. This forgot to press enter.
I hit enter. It's in the middle. The letter's in the middle.
This is unbelievable. But also, that was, that was a lot. For
I don't know
us
why
to,
they caught me lacking right there. Like, I clearly had the letter. I knew a hexagon had 6 sides. Like, come on, stop playing with me.
Oh my God, Johnny, did you actually? I know you said you started watching it, but did you actually end up actually finishing the entire show?
I did. I caught I think the first 30 minutes or so live, then I had to go, but I went back and watched the whole thing. It was phenomenal. I hope we see a second episode of that. I can say from personal experience, I've done a couple of similar kind of shows to that one where I'm the contestant, and it is a lot harder than it looks. You guys have to realize you might be sitting at home like I was watching this thinking, yeah, that question's easy, but you overthink everything when you're on the show like that, when you're having to answer the questions under pressure, and you second guess every answer. So yeah, it's very difficult. That being said, yeah, there were some horrendous answers, which was really what made it.
Nah,
made
we
it for
need
me.
Johnny on the next time. I can't have him talking
I'm gonna farm. I'm gonna absolutely farm it in this. It's gonna be so free, and probably so embarrassing as well.
Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, at this point though, you want to make sure you just don't come in last so you don't get pied. I remember somebody was talking to Raul like, oh my God, Raul got bored towards the end, but Raul was just trying to make sure he didn't get pied. I know Raul, he was just like, let me make sure I'm safe.
It wasn't even getting pied. Like, I get pied. I don't care about getting pied. It was the bet that I had with Reynolds. Like, I knew we made a bet where whoever got the least amount of points between us two specifically would tweet on the other's account. And I knew if I lost, he would tweet something so blasphemous that I wouldn't recover from. So I was like, I can't do this to myself. I don't care about getting pied. I get pied.
Oh, okay. Now, so it's worse to have a tweet from you from Reynolds than it is the actual pie.
100%. 100%. I'll stand on it.
Oh my goodness. Honestly, Noah Reynolds, that's actually a good shout. That's a good shout. Wow. So again, if you guys haven't seen First Class, be sure to watch First Class on the First Touch YouTube. First Touch, just type First Touch Rocket League on YouTube. You should see it. We have the Winter Split logo. Or just go to First Touch at First Touch RL on Twitter because we have it linked there as well. That being said, though, chat, I saw a lot of you guys getting involved and getting being more interactive towards during the show. You guys were giving answers and just trying to get as involved. Unfortunately, we couldn't keep score for you guys there, but we could keep score for you guys now because we're gonna shift over into the chat bracket. Roll this, Johnny boy. This is what's going on. Everybody always asks us, who's our top 25 players? Who do we have winning the major? But why don't we ask chat for once? It's a scary thing, I know, but let's try to see what chat is going to do here. We're going to run Twitch polls for you guys. And during those Twitch polls, for every matchup, you guys are going to vote during the poll on which team you guys have winning the matchup. I can keep track of it here. We can show the bracket a little bit later, but for now, I threw up my green screen, so I got the background for the group stage, which, can I pull this up? I can pull this up right now. So we could go to a group by group basis up and boom. And we could get this all started up. Of course, as you guys can see, first things first, we got FaZe Clan versus G1. I think we know where Raul is going. Johnny, how do you feel about that matchup?
I think there's definitely upset potential there for G1 to get a win. I'm still thinking FaZe have got that though. In the first series of the group, I think, I'm leaning more towards FaZe, but yeah, FaZe have had some slow starts, some majors before, so G1, if they can just come in confident, they have upset potential there. I think I'm looking forward to the match.
Rob, y'all been doing a lot of prep.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, G1, we've been scrimming G1. They've been over here, and G1's a team I think a lot of people are sleeping on. I'm not gonna lie. They come out super confident, and Spanish teams, they play super fast paced, super speedy all the time. So they can come out and catch us lagging, but it's not gonna happen because we already got extended tape. So
Okay. Well, Twitch chat's vote. Okay, so Group A, top votes equal top 2 seeds. So we're doing top votes right now. Looks like FaZe and G2, they have coming out in terms of Group A being the top seeds right now. FaZe with 197 votes, G2 with 52 votes right under him. But G1 was pretty close. It was 18% and then 10% right after. I think it was like a 21 vote difference there, 22 vote difference there. So it was a pretty close.
No upsets from chat, as usual. You guys think you're so smart. You guys think you're so clever. Look at you just predicting no upsets. Just the most boring predictions. Actually, I think I did the exact same thing. So
let's shift it over a bit to Group B. I'm gonna move it over here real quick. Again, this is K Corp, Vitality, Dignitas, Falcons. I think a lot of people are calling this the Group of Death. Are we in agreement here with that, guys?
I think it depends. I think this is the hardest group to get out of. I think that this is a group where, coming last is a real scary thing that every team is probably thinking about in this format. But the group we just had, Group A, I think is probably the hardest group to win, or Group D may be the hardest group to win. In fact, so you've got Gen G, Oxygen, and Complexity. So it really depends. If you're talking hardest group to get out of, yeah, this is the group of death.
Yeah, I would agree with that. The hardest group to get out of would be this one. We've seen Dignitas on an upswing, like 3 players that aren't really expected, or a team that's not really expected to even be at this major, but they worked hard. And we have pieces that just came out of nowhere. We got Evo, who was trapped under Rapid's toxic wing and I made it out of the gutter, and now he's at a major, so... and then Falcons, we don't know what to expect from this team. Johnny, I haven't heard Johnny talk about the Falcons in I don't know how long. And then we got K Corp and Vitality. I mean, look, Zen's waiting on the sidelines. I don't know what Vitality's gonna do. Like, this is a toss-up. This is a complete toss-up group, except for Carmine Corp.
Oh yeah. Speaking of which, so the votes are in. Wait. Do we have to? Okay, there's a tie here, but it's a 3-vote tie between Falcons and Vitality for second in the group.
Oh, I think that's just, that's got to be a win there for Falcons. They got 55 votes to 52,
yeah.
So yeah, more of a Twitch API tie than an actual tie. Those decimal points apparently on this system, but yeah, very close vote.
Very close. Yeah, this group definitely, I would say, and then of course they have Dignitas and last, so they have Dignitas not winning the group. I think a lot of people are predicting that, but you know how these majors go, man. There's definitely room for upsets. That's for sure. Especially, I think that group too might not necessarily be as safe as a lot of people think it is, but we'll get there when we get there. I'm interested to see chat's bracket when the bracket actually happens. Hold on, let me cut here. We move over to Group C now. Team Secret, Team Liquid, Ground Zero, and Gladiators. This one I feel like is a little bit more straightforward, Johnny. I think the question is going to be who actually wins it between Team Liquid and Secret, but that's just how I'm feeling going into it.
Yeah, I'm leaning Liquid personally, but Team Secret did finish top 4 at the last major, so if you expect a repeat performance of that, then you should actually be leaning towards them. But yeah, I think Team Liquid did well at the last major as well. They were both 3-1 coming out of Swiss. Secret beat V1, Liquid won Game 7 with the eventual winner Gen G. It should be a great match there. But yeah, the rest of the group I think is quite clear. One of the easier ones to predict, or one of the more confident ones to predict, I guess, because we never know until it actually happens.
Yep. Votes are still going in, but this one is looking just as clear as day, basically. Team Liquid sitting at almost 70%. They got 220 votes. Team Secret sitting at 17 with 56. And actually, Ground Zero and Gladiators at the bottom are tied.
Who's voting for
with 25 each. What, you're going to say who's voting for who? What?
For Gladiators. Like, who thinks Gladiators are going to win the group? That's actually insanity. When you got Liquid and Secret in this group, there's no way. I don't know. I think they're trolling.
Maybe the Ground Zero votes could be coming from the OCE fans. OCE #1 team looking to get an upset win there. But Gladiators, these are some bold predictions. I think we got some troublemakers in the chat, I'm going to say. They are already over there in NA, or at least 2/3 of them. I think LCT might have arrived the other day as well. to start preparing a little bit earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they're taking this very seriously. They're staying at James Bot's place. Or
Yep.
staying at his boot camping at his facility. So shout out to James Bot for putting up the gladiators there.
Yeah, exactly. Big shout outs to James Buff for doing that. I was supposed to go down there, but I didn't have the energy. I'm not gonna lie. It's like a 3-hour drive there and back. I just wasn't feeling it. Like I'm gonna be honest there. But it seems like they're doing well. It seems like James has always been a very hospitable person in terms of things like that. That being said, they're doing all of that, and chat thinks they are getting eliminated. We got the poll up right now, and 80% in terms of who will get eliminated from Group C is looking at Gladiators there. Honestly, I think for them, it'll probably come down to, well, I don't know. I don't know if it'll come down to the head-to-head for Gladiators or not. Because I think their first round matchup against Secret, honestly, might be the hardest one. Well, not the hardest one, but the most interesting of the matchups. Because if they are, really the truth, I feel like they come up and they show up, give Secret a run for their money first matchup in group stage, and then maybe that could kind of change things. But if they drop that, I think Ground Zero also has a chance to beat Secret, and then it could come down to like a round 3 between Ground Zero and Gladiators playing on the stage. It could be very interesting.
Do we have any predictions, Johnny, on maybe Locky on this Ground Zero squad going crazy against Team Liquid first round?
I think he's the best player in OCE right now. He just got removed, kicked from Pioneers, joins Ground Zero, and turns them into the top team in the region. So clearly he's the guy to beat. But round 1 against Liquid, I don't think so. Just because I know Liquid are already over there boot camping as well. I think Ground Zero are. A lot of teams moving over to NA early to start boot camping preparation for the major. But Liquid are, I think, just a level above. That's not one of the teams. I think, Ground Zero have upset potential, in my opinion, against the more strategical teams. And that's not really what Liquid are. Liquid are just going to beat them to the ball. And if they play their game, there's no chance for Ground Zero, in my opinion.
Oh, there you go. There's the extensive breakdown. So again, that will be Group C matches, of course. Keep an eye on that day 1 of the major to see where things go from there. And then lastly, Group D with Gen G, Mobile One Racing, Oxygen, Complexity, and Pioneers. All in those groups as well. Make sure to get the votes in for that. And we all, come on now. Let's be realistic too with the votes.
Let's
be realistic.
He goes trying to sway the voters.
I may have just voted for the first time.
Wait, you voted?
You voted.
Wait, that means I gotta vote. Hold on.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, who you voting for?
Not your team.
What the heck? Yo, bros, I hate
Tazrin, are you not worried about that potential clinch matchup there for the group win? Gen G Oxygen, last time they played, Gen G didn't look too good in the stage of the fall major.
Johnny, I'm not worried at all. I'm not worried at all. You know why? Because it's a bounce back. That's for sure. So the Gen G's a team, they take the loss, it's fine. And of course, if it's not the first match of the day, I think it's also a big proponent too. I think Oxygen will try to play their game, but I think, maybe they might be a little jet lagged or something coming over to NA. It just might not be.
They're already here.
Well. Huh?
They're already here.
When did they get there?
I saw them tweeting a basketball game they were at, right?
Yeah, and they've been scrimming.
What basketball game were they at?
Better be weird. They're already here, Jazz. There's no jet lag.
No, okay, they got here, but they haven't gotten rid of the jet lag, okay? Let me put my screen down. Either way, they won the poll. Good job, chat. Wait. Maybe they should.
Maybe they shouldn't have won the poll.
Yeah,
Look where they are now.
I don't know if they could have won that poll. There's a chance bracket.
You sound worried, Daz.
No, I'm good. I'm good. They're in Boston right now. Okay, yeah. They still, they might still be a little jet lagged. But maybe they should not be jet lagged. I don't know. Actually, this is tough. Okay, so we're at the bracket portion now. I need to fix my whole setup too in the meantime. Let's start with that round 1 matchup. Chat, you got to vote between Falcons and Complexity first round, because this could be something that is definitely gonna be interesting. Are you flying with the Falcons? Or are you full Vamos here?
Oh my gosh, they're getting dominated. Johnny, defend your birds.
No, I wouldn't here. I think Complexity are the favorites for sure. Like people think I'm just like dazzering over here, just saying that
What
the
the
team I
heck?
like is going to win because I like them. But no, I think Complexity would win this. I love the Falcons as a team. They've got an amazing story, but right now I think Complexity are better than them. And the main thing that really makes me think that is that there's a LAN going on right now in Saudi Arabia that Falcons are playing in against all the best teams in the Middle East. They've been struggling a little bit. They're struggling to beat teams that they usually beat pretty easily. They lost to Rule 1 the last 2 times they played them in the Middle East as well. So, yeah, I think Falcons are in a bit of a slump right now. Complexity have never looked better. So I think Complexity win that one.
Oh man, 73%. It's clear. But
Wait, so when we talk about the Falcons, I think a week or two back we talked about them making a bounce back, being top 8, and if this bracket goes this way, then they won't make the expectation of being, I guess, back into the realm of what we expected them to be, which is kind of insane. They won't be
Surely,
a top
I
8
don't think
team.
this is the one for the. Well, I don't think this is the bounce back because it's just so close to their LAN in Saudi Arabia that they're playing. I believe they're flying out just a couple of days or 3 days before the start of this one. And for a West Coast USA LAN, no team has to travel farther. No team has to cross more time zones than a team from the Middle East, and that's Falcons. So they've got, I think, the biggest uphill battle just to perform anywhere near their usual level, traveling so far, so close to the event. I think maybe their total time in transit should be around 30 hours. People say, "Oh, whoa, whoa, jet lag copium." It's a real thing that teams have to consider. And yeah, they obviously wanted to play this Saudi Arabia LAN and right after the San Diego Major. Tough timing for them. Yeah, I think it's going to show.
mm. My question to you though is, do you think it'll affect, I guess, their, like, a loss here, would it affect kind of like their stature, their standings? The word I was going to use is legacy, but I feel like that's too large of a word here. But just kind of like how people feel about the strength of the roster, because a lot of us were really high on them when they first came into the scene. Obviously, they went to the finals in the spring majors. Since then, it's been a little iffy. We talked about this when we did the list as well. This was my thing. So with them exiting round one, would that stock dip a little bit, or do you think they have enough copium to survive?
I think that people are still going to respect them. People are still going to, have them as one of the teams who can make a deep run because they've done it before. Teams like BDS, teams like G2 have had pretty shambolic majors and lands in the past year, and then gone on to win other ones, or have won other ones and made deep runs in other ones. So I think that spring major last season will always give people hope and put Falcons in that category of teams who can make a deep run. It's just less likely now based on the evidence of the past 3 lands where they've struggled.
Mm. You feel the same way, Raul?
Yeah, I actually have another question. Is like, how long before we see the Falcons disband or make another roster move or go their separate ways, join an EU team, or like maybe individual players start leaving? I don't know, because you talk about this team, they've been stuck together or sticking together and staying in the region. Obviously, it's a huge like pride thing. Like they play for their country, they play for their region, and they want to represent them well. But at a certain point, you want to start winning again. And they were a team who was considered tournament favorites, and now they're not. And now they're just slipping and slowly declining over and over again, which is kind of crazy. So I wonder, like, how long before they actually think, like, okay, maybe we need to actually make a roster move now, or maybe leave to go
Oh no,
represent
there's no
another
way they
region.
leave the Middle East. I mean, it's such a culture shock to think about. It's a very different, it's a totally different world. Living in Saudi Arabia with your family, and then thinking about moving to Europe, even like disregarding Rocket League completely. I don't think that's something they would think about. But yeah, they're making good money in the Middle East as well. So I don't think there's any reason to move. It's a very people often think of it as a similar situation to South American teams and players moving to NA, but it's not like that at all. It's very different, much more different when it comes to the culture and the lifestyle. So I don't see that happening. But yeah, as for roster change, I mean, maybe I think more a regional thing. If they stop winning, if they consistently lose to Rule 1, then I could see that happening. But right now they're very close, so I don't think that's likely. And remember, Ahmad and Khaled, they're the two players who have been together the longest. I mean, officially they're second to Justin and Garrett, but that's only because Ahmad and Khaled were not on an org when they started teaming together. They were teaming together in just a random team. So if we take that time into account, they've actually had the longest time together as teammates in Rocket League history right now.
Sheesh.
See, he
Can't
came at
break
you.
them up.
That's right. It looks like the Falcons will be flying high in their formation for a while. That being said, though, you saw Chad's vote in terms of G1 and Team Secret. We ran the poll there. They have G1 winning. I don't know if it's that clear cut though. I feel like there's a chance for Secret to get that. What are you guys feeling?
I think chat is just we do this every single LAN. South American teams always get disrespected. I think chat is on that wave right now where they're not sure where we've seen more people are inclined to watch EU and NA gameplay rather than South America. So you don't know how Sam is going to pull up against this G1 roster. I've seen this G1 roster in scrims, and I think they could, but I haven't seen Secret yet. So once I get knowledge on Secret, I think it's okay, but I wouldn't keep Secret out of the loop here.
Yeah, that was way too one-sided. Chat voting 70% in favor of G1. That's ridiculous. It's a close match, G1 Secret, and I'd say Secret are probably the favorites there based on what happened in the fall major. So, I don't think it's wrong to predict G1 to win, but yeah, chat's definitely sleeping on Secret.
Oh boy, Chad, there might be an upset there. I get it. You guys know the favorites, but the favorites might not win all the time. Because sometimes you got to predict the upset here. Let's take a look back at the bracket and go to our next poll to see where chat is right now. You got G2 versus Ground Zero. Okay, this.
We can skip that one. We already know what chat's
yeah,
going to skip. We don't need to run that poll.
Yeah, we don't need to run this. Well, I mean, it's running, so we'll let it run. But yeah, that one.
Chat disrespecting Locky, Fiber.
Yeah, no, I mean, the G2 did lose to Power. I'm glad. Like, see, this would be.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They were swept.
Yeah, they were swept by Power.
Now, but since Bates isn't here, I'll tell you what Bates would say. He'd say,
okay,
but this is different. This is the winter major. We get the defending winter major champions, G2. They got Atomic. Nobody moved like him. They got J Naps. And something else about Chicago. I can't remember what he says about J Naps.
Curry.
He would defend G2 very, very adamantly here. And I think he's got one point, and that is that G2 does tend to do quite well in North American Rocket League lands, even though they struggle in European Rocket League lands. This is a North American Rocket League land, so they should do fine.
Oh, God. Well, G2 will win that one. Take on Carby Core. Can't wait till we get to that part. Oxygen Vitality. That one, okay. Well, actually, no, because this is kind of close. This is a close one. I mean, it depends on the Vitality we get, right? Are we getting Vitality 54? Are we getting job security Vitality? What
Security.
what kind of Vitality are we getting here in this matchup? I think that's the biggest factor here. But
and they better pray that they get job security Vitality. That means all three of them are firing on all cylinders. You need Sizen to not delete the 3 letters out of his name yet, and play to the fullest capacity that he can. And then Redosin, he's obviously been stepped up so much this split, but this is gonna be their toughest matchup easily. Like, this is the toughest first round matchup in my opinion.
How do you what are your thoughts, Johnny?
I would have to go for Oxygen here. Vitality, I've got a couple of LAN rookies there, at least RLCS LAN rookies in Redosin and Sizen. Alpha's played one RLCS LAN. That was all the way back in the fall major last season, where he got the 1-3 out of Swiss with K-Dop and Fairy Peak. So he didn't go too well there. Expecting a better overall result for him in this one, but Oxygen's just too much. I mean, they're already a insanely talented roster, and now they've got Rise added to the roster. And yeah, he said he broke his wrist, but he's back to practicing. He's been cleared by the doctor to get into practice, I think, starting last weekend. So he's got three weeks, or what is it, 2 weeks total to prepare. Somebody in chat could probably correct me on that. But yeah, Rise should be in good form, and he's one of the best LAN players to ever play the game.
Wait, he's still playing injured?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
played Regional 3 with a broken wrist, cast on, sling on, and then
What they
after that
make.
he didn't play for I think a couple of weeks, because yeah, doctor said you need to rest it, don't make it worse. But yeah, he's now I think just in a cast, no sling, so he can play as normal. You don't have to sit in any kind of weird position when you're just playing with a cast on. But yeah, he played Regional 3 with a broken wrist, and they did I think get a top 8 finish if I recall.
Top 4.
Mhm.
Oh, top 4. Sorry, you're right. Yeah, top 4 because they played
Yep.
Fax in the quarters. That was an easy win for them.
Yeah. So now the Rise is feeling better. It looks to prove to be a little bit of a threat. So you guys have predicted so far the quarter or the round ones, and now we are in the quarterfinals. That's how that works. From here on out, I believe all matches are best of 7. So you have to remember that for the best of 7s. Let's go back to it and look at, I believe, FaZe Clan versus Complexity to see what happens here. This one, I mean, Raul, how many times have you guys played Complexity?
I believe twice, if not once. Yeah, the team that we play the most often is literally, if chat is going to make this bracket as boring and predicting as possible, it will be the next round matchup is the team that we played every single region so far. So I think Complexity we played like once or twice.
Yeah, I believe last time, what event is this? Regional 3 for the Invitational, you guys ended up sweeping Complexity. And looking at the results as well, you guys have been, the time before that was Fall Cup, so it was a while ago. And you guys won that one 3-1. So Complexity against FaZe seems like a wall here, at least in terms of like the previous matchups. And chat is going FaZe here. Lots of FaZe. There are people in the chat that are saying, vote Complexity. Vote Complexity,
please.
Wait, there's a guy
Nah,
saying
well.
next vote G1 to upset Dad. Stop. Don't do that. Vote.
Chat's not completely delusional.
Yeah, relax.
No, wait, but the G1 Gen G, I mean that's a possibility.
Huh?
We got CRR, no, not CRR, sorry, Dorito versus Nully again. Atomic versus Nully is going to be exciting to see. I don't know, chat's probably not going to give us an upset there, though. That's... Oh, no, they actually are. Wait a minute.
Yo.
Wait, they're actually giving an upset.
Relax.
Why did you read out that
Stop!
comment,
Stop! What are y'all doing?
This is the first upset that chat has.
There is
This whole
no
bracket.
way I'm being spited by Twitch chat right now. I'm being trolled. How do they have almost 100 votes on me? Can I vote multiple times? I can't.
Speak? Why did you speak? I don't know why you read that comment out. You've done this to yourself, Daz.
That's so troll. I'm being trolled by Twitch chat. That's actually
I don't think I've
crazy.
seen more votes in any of the polls today. That is
That was it. This is like 600 votes. Like, the other ones were like 300 max. You've doubled the votes.
You've probably just inspired chat to vote G1 to win the whole thing now. Like just with that one comment, they're gonna have them winning everything. So...
Like what am I watching?
Chat has spoken. Chat has spoken, Daz.
It's over. That's
Well, you know what? That's fine. This is your bracket, okay? It's not my bracket. It's your bracket. So when it comes major time, Twitch chat, you better hope and pray you're right, because guess what? If you're wrong, I'm calling you all frauds. Cannot believe this. Man, what's next, man? What's next in the bracket, man? We can't even go into the matchup. Everybody knows Gigi's winning that chat. Carmine versus
like...
G2.
Ooh, see, this is gonna be that's a fire matchup, and we already know. Wait, Johnny, spin the baits for us real quick.
I don't know if I have to. Chat's voting G2 already, but I mean, yeah, Bates would obviously tell you G2's gonna win this. Probably say something like Batira can't 1v3, Itachi's a tap-in merchant, or other. Like I don't know what Bates have been watching this split, but Yeah, Vatira's in chat saying NA fanboy right now. So I mean, you guys, if you want to make Vatira mad, then you know what to do. But I'd be very careful. I don't know if you want to make Vatira mad. You know, voting against him here would probably just inspire him even more to beat G2 in this quarterfinal, which is, I think, a likely quarterfinal to see. So this is it's a very interesting, very close vote. My goodness, the Carving Court fans have arrived.
Yeah, this
It's
is
like they
close.
followed him into the chat. Like, what? This is actually a close poll, but it looks like it is going to be K Corp taking that one by, dang, how many votes is that? Like 30 votes?
You know the best
30,
thing about
yeah,
this, the
29.
fact that it's so close. I bet you Tbates, when he sees this, he'll think, I could have swung that. But little does he know, the more he would have spoken on this, the less people would vote. Like this is definitely a very. I'm getting a trolley vibe from Twitch chat today. I don't know if Tbates would have helped G2 in this one.
Yeah, Twitch chat, they tried to troll, but the KC fans said, wait, hold on, timeout. What you doing? Timeout. We got to stop you right now. So, this one, besides that first semifinals match, this one so far on a predictable road. But we have Liquid and Oxygen here.
There's gonna be another one. That's super close. Should be.
See me?
That's a great match. That's match of the round for me.
Yeah. Yeah, that one is actually a pretty good one.
See, the bottom side of the bracket is like is the toughest. Like, especially when you look at the quarterfinals specifically, it's like the best two matches, I think, is the bottom side of this bracket.
Yeah,
very, very close.
Yeah, I agree. Based on, like, because I think there's what? I guess. Yeah. Yeah, there's like 4 teams. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 teams on that bottom side that could really, like, take this tournament, to be honest. So
you say 4? All 4 of them?
Yeah, I think so. I
Yeah,
think they
I
have the
agree.
ability to.
I think Liquid absolutely needs to pop off in order for that to happen. They need a peak. And they take this quarters for
Chat backs Liquid over Oxygen.
We got some Liquid is underrated. 3 EU teams in the semis. Oh yeah, you guys wow. That means
You guys have really cultivated an EU fan base here on First Touch, I see, based on these semifinals. Like, this is a surprise. This is not what happened last Winter Major.
Yeah, right. Wow. We have EU fans. Look at that. No, I'm playing. But yeah, Raul, you're NA's last hope. And you're in the top 4 situation once again. But you know what? It's okay, Raul. It's okay. You know why? Because Chad gave you the easiest bracket possible, clearly. Can we look at the bracket again?
No, they gave him G1.
They're
they're gonna give G1 the win here because they love Fourth Clan. Watch this troll.
Goodness.
Wait, there's no way.
Watch this troll.
G1
There's no
are
way.
peaking there.
Fourth Clan. Oh my goodness, chat is blasphemous. This blasphemous bracket. G1's just winning the tournament, I guess.
I get.
Chat had G1 finishing 3rd in group and then just making the run. They've just got running through everyone. Secret 4th place of the Fall Major, not an issue. Gen G Fall Major champions, not a problem. FaZe Clan #1 seed NA, also not a problem apparently. They're going all the way.
They're gonna play Carmine in the finals and win. They'll
It's
take out
Vamos against LA.
every dominant team.
What do you think will happen though? So it looks like G1 are going to the Twitch chat bracket final. If it is going to be G1 against Carmine Corp, the other massive fan base in the Rocket League scene, do all of the neutrals go with G1? All of the people who were voting NA up until this point, are they now Vamos as well, or will they be LA for Carmine Corp in the final?
I think they gotta back G1 here. G1 will grow an extreme amount of fans. They make this run, right? You gotta go G1. Even Carmine fans should go G1 at this point.
An all EU final. What
No, it's the
event.
mark. It's the mark by 8 back. Yeah, Mark's back.
Yep.
Mark's back by 8.
He's back by 8. And he's gonna finish the tournament by 9. We can all go home. We got Carmine Corp versus Liquid, Chad. That's gonna be the next poll up. Who do you guys have in that matchup? This is actually this is a predictable side of the bracket, and this is a very close matchup regardless.
Oh my.
Liquid took the last one, just so you know, right? Didn't they?
Chat is going liquid again. What is
Are
happening?
they going liquid?
They are.
What? Nah, chat is trolling.
Chat's just like, oh, I heard this team's really popular. Let's eliminate them. Let's make their fans as angry as we can.
I said, screw making it to the grand finals. Let's get them out here.
They're adding Vatira. That is crazy line.
Take them out in the semis. Adding Vatira. L.
Oh, no way.
No, Vatira's about to be on a mission. Y'all just woke up a sleeping beast.
This is definitely a possible matchup, and like I said, it is a lot closer than most people I think would assume. Yeah, Liquid did win
Yeah, they
in
beat them
7.
last time.
Yep, in 7. They went Champions Field. They showed up.
Why is everybody adding Vatira? All you've done is you voted his team to lose in a poll. It's not like you actually beat the guy.
Yeah.
I'm down here.
I mean, I think this is the closest they'll get to beating him, so that's kind of fair.
Unbelievable.
So Liquid and Carmine Corp, just so you guys know, here are the head-to-head stats from actually we shouldn't do from 2021 spring, so we'll do from Fall Open Top 16 qualifier. Liquid had won, I think that's a Swiss matchup, 3-0. Fall Open, K Corp won 3-0, and then Fall Cup was a game 5 where K Corp won it. Then it went to Fall Invitational, and Liquid had won. They've been back and forth this entire season. They've had 8 series against each other. Game wins are separated 21, and then Liquid K Corp has 21, Liquid has 20, and then the goals are separated by 11. K Corp has 84 goals, Liquid has 73. So definitely very close. Yeah, they're close. All that to say they're close. And of course, now we have our grand finals poll, and it's already over. You guys voted G1 to win the whole
Wait,
tournament.
they already won? Oh my days. Does that mean that G2 Atomic, if this happens, does G2 Atomic have to change his name? Like, or does he get to keep the Atomic with a C? They should have a pact, like the Atomic with a K and Atomic with a C. They should have a kind of, Roldas versus Rettles Twitter bet, except now IGN in-game name bet. A Atomic and B Atomic. Like, I want to see that. I want to see it in writing. I want to see the contract. That would be the most entertaining outcome.
Whoever wins changes their name to B Atomic.
I think Atomic with a K would he'd sign a contract saying that the loser of their group stage match has to change their name to B Atomic. I think that EU Atomic would sign that, and NA Atomic wouldn't. He would no shot. The G2 don't like to talk trash. They don't like to gamble like this. They wouldn't do it.
Which is boring. I think they should do it. They should 100% do it. Make it publicized, and then watch the viewer count on that matchup. That specific one matchup, just watch it. Everybody's gonna be tuning into that.
But the reason they don't do it because last time Chicago did talk trash, they lost to the Peeps. I think it was DreamHack Montreal in 2019. That was the last time Chicago talked trash. He's not talked trash since like 3 years because last time they did it, they lost. So
yeah.
If you win some, you lose some. You can't be scared. Everybody's scared to talk trash and then lose right afterwards. But like Rettle's been doing it, or when he was on his like menace arc, he would talk trash, lose, and then the next week talk trash again and win, and then it would be like whatever. Like you only remember the wins.
Yeah, Nolly's talking trash more
Every
than
day.
anyone, and he's winning. So yeah, it's doable.
It is doable.
He's doing it.
It is doable. Now, last time I heard Chicago talk trash was when they picked up Atomic. And then there was that whole, well, it was about me because I said that the trade between Envy and G2 was a bad deal. So he got on the desk. He was like, yeah, somebody said it was a bad deal. I don't know who said that. I was like, stop. Chicago, stop. I'll take it back. But chat, you guys voted G1 to win. This is the most fraudulent bracket maybe I've ever seen.
I respect it. But
I do respect it.
They were going like just voting for the favorites the entire time, and then they just voted G1 to win it all. They came back. Like chat's bracket was pretty boring, but now they've really pulled through. I respect it.
Yeah.
Very bold.
Honestly, I respect it too because it gives me some Gen G copium. They lost to the winners. I'm okay with that.
Oh my goodness. There's no way.
They lost to the winners of the tournament. There we go. Chat, you thought you had me, but you got to do a little bit more work than that if you want to take down the Bezos, okay?
No one would be mad. Imagine G1 actually won this. The comeback from Mark by 8 would be
Oh my God,
legendary.
yeah.
Like that would actually be such a good story. So yeah, you can't really hate that.
I wouldn't be mad at that either. That'd be like, we would have to. I think honestly, there should be like an interview piece on Mark, just for like the whole journey here to this point. Do it before the event, so then when you get to the final, like if this bracket happens, then you can have that great piece where you're like, look, this was his story, did it. I think that'd be super cool. So chat, we'll be following your bracket as the event goes on. We'll see if you guys are correct or not. And if you aren't correct, you're gonna see me on that first touch pre-show at the major. I'm gonna be calling you all out. That's all I gotta say. But speaking of lands, let's talk about 1v1s, because the question or the topic is 1v1 overhyped? Would a one's land live up to the hype? Zen's 1v1 games have pulled over 30,000 live viewers. Johnny, let's start with you. How do you feel on this one? Oh, look at that. We got a nice Zen wipe too. That was nice.
I mean, I don't think. I think everybody already knows what I'm going to say. That is a yes. I think one's land would live up to the hype. Absolutely. The meta right now for 1v1 is pretty much just freestyle 1v1 is how it's the best way to play. I mean, if you've not watched 1v1 competitive recently, you might be thinking, 1v1's just dribbling and flicking. Well, actually, no, it's not. It's basically what you're watching right now. You might think this is a freestyle 1v1. This is a competitive 1v1 between the two best 1v1 players on the planet, and look how they're playing it. This is how you play 1v1 these days. You just take the ball to the air and solo play. Well, obviously it's solo play because it's ones, but yeah, it's just a highlight reel. It's a ridiculous highlight reel.
God.
In fact, I streamed that. I probably skipped the replay because it takes so. If there's so many clips every game that you can't even. It's not even worth watching all the replays of single flip reset goals. Skip replay, go next, because it's so common to see in ones these days. The meta's ridiculous, and these players would definitely do the same play on LAN, because it would only work more with defenders being more panicky. So yeah. You already knew I was going to say it, but yeah, I think it would live up to the hype.
Yeah, we know. Raul, how do you feel?
No, it's just going back to like back when I was on the come up, you know what I'm saying? Old head, 50 years old by now, but yeah, it was the ground play, the flick. The flick was like the greatest thing. You had the Sathu flick, like he'd flick it top corner, and we'd be like, oh my, like it's unstoppable. Now we got these dudes pogoing. They're off the ceiling more than they're on the ground. You can't compete, bro. Like this is like, we talk about players who are highly mechanical. They get to show off the most in these 1v1 matches because there's so much space. There's only 2 cars on the field. Obviously, there's a lot more boost for them. So you see Zen, especially Zen, who a lot of people are anticipating to be the next coming of K-Dop, the next coming of Vatira, the next guy, the guy to grab this stick and move forward with Rocket League. Like, he's gonna take the helm, the next SK, and he's absolutely just dominating so many players in this 1v1 realm. He's showing his mechanics. He just looks so smooth on the ball, and this is most players who end up going into that 3v3, that pro play, come from a 1v1 space, especially if they're dominant players. They're highly mechanical. They come from the 1v1 space. You always see them. Johnny Boy is pretty much the first guy to notice these kids, because he has them on his show matches, and he'll be like, yep, this kid's he's gonna be in the league one day, like one day, sometime soon. Maybe he's not of age, but yeah, I think the land should happen. It should have happened. It should happen. It should be here. It's definitely gonna be hyped up.
I think the question could come down to when at this point, because I think we got a taste of it during the World Championship when what did they call it, the Friday night flights or something. I don't remember the exact name of it, but when we had those kind of like 1v1 show matches going on at the World Championship on that Friday, and you start to see what that looked like for a live environment, just a little like kind of teaser to it. And I think, Friday Night Duels. Thank you, Mateus. And you start to kind of see what that looked like. And it was definitely like people were locked in. You know, there were people, obviously this was after the show, but people stuck around to watch. It was exciting. And there's a potential to also, not just from a kind kind of player perspective, but also from a production's perspective to make that look super cool into the future. So I definitely, at first I thought about the question a little bit because I was unsure, but then I thought about how a lot of people, doing, even myself too, I would be streaming and somebody would come into the chat and say, oh, Zin's about to play Daniel in a 1v1 on Johnny's stream. I'm like, oh, wait, for real? I'm like, oh, Johnny's cool watch parties. Let me pull it up. But then I'll check back in here and there, like, okay, who's doing what? Is it close? Oh no, Zin's running away with that. Like it's just like being able to like keep up with it and kind of have like a fight card kind of event is like that's super cool.
I was gonna say, like, to add on to that, it's more of an individual pride thing on the line as well. Like the players don't want to lose to another player. Hey, if you think about it, 3v3s, you could be like, all right, in the mind of a player, all right, my team just didn't perform as well as their team. But when it's a 1v1, it's individual talents clashing heads. I don't want to lose to this guy. I'm better than this guy. And this can lead to so much more trash talking in the future, even though players are a lot more respectable. Obviously, they don't want to trash talk, but it would make everything so much more hyped up. When you see two highly anticipated players, two highly mechanical players go up against each other 1v1, everybody wants to watch because they want to see who's individually better than the other player. It's just always going to be hype when you see like a Zen versus a Vatira because they're the top of the game. Like it's not their team versus their team. It's the two players. It's always going to be hype.
Yeah, I think the funny one that they had was Daniel versus Jorius, and they had him in the hype chamber, and you could just see the height difference between them.
Yeah.
Like that was so funny to me. But yeah, being able to get those, I mean, that's just magic in a bottle. So yeah. I think once land event will live up to the hype. We all agree with that as well. So let's move on to something that we did not agree about, which is the top 25 players list going into the major.
Blasphemous list.
Johnny Boy hit me, Bates, CJ, and Yummy Cheeseman up to about the top 25 players that we are predicting to do well at the major. Of course, we had our takes. We talked about it on the show. If you haven't, check that out on Johnny Boy's YouTube. But here is the full list. And we're going to have rolled this.
Who paused this? Who paused me, like, leaning forward? You couldn't get a frame of me sitting normally.
We got to start taking, like, screenshot pictures where we all look at the camera and smile at the end of this. All right, Raul. What are you thinking here? What are you thinking of the list?
First of all, Johnny, I need you to explain me something.
Mm-hmm.
What was your thought process behind this this blue-red dynamic you have going from 17 on?
Oh, you mean, yeah, never the same color twice. It's kind of like I'm doing it on hard mode. I'm challenging myself to make a perfect top 25 list and also never have the same regional color 2 times in a row. Blue is EU, red is NA, yellow is South America, green Middle East, and then purple is OCE. So it really just goes to show the level that I am operating at when I can not only make the best list but also do it without putting the same region twice. Like, there's levels to this. There's simply levels, and these guys are not on mine.
Ooh,
that is crazy lines. What?
Wait, you think you're on this level, Des?
Huh? Are you kidding me? I had the best list. Probably when did I choke?
When did you choke? I read down the 4 and you choked already. What are you talking about?
What? Because I had first killer at 4th. Listen, first killer at 4th. I get it.
When Tbates puts first killer at first, that's when you know. That's when you know it's over. Like Tbates is the last guy to put first killer at first.
No, you got that wrong. Tbates will definitely put first killer first. He trolled when he had Atomic at second because Atomic shouldn't be at second. But 4th killer, until he is first, I'm not putting him at first. What?
Oh my gosh, bruh.
Now, what Daz's strategy for this is he tries, instead of ranking players low, he tries to leave them out entirely and hope no one notices. He's done this a couple of times now.
Don't do that.
So
Don't do that.
Look, you've got to think about who's missing from Dazerin's list. That's not who's on the list, who's missing. Where Earth is CRR? You don't even have him on there. Like, that's insane to not put CRR on the top 25. Something which everyone else, I believe, did do. CJ has him a bit low there at 21, but yeah, Dazarin doesn't have CRR at all, and he thinks he's
didn't
got
have to-
a good list. Like, come on,
Yeah,
ridiculous.
Like,
look, I
yeah,
got
these
Razorable.
lists are kind of blasphemous. I'm looking like towards the top. We see Itachi on top 10 for most of these lists, except Tbates, who
Tbates,
has
of
him at
course.
19.
Tbates doesn't
19's
have exotic at
crazy.
all. He just just doesn't have him in there. It's
Wait, how-
it's consistent disrespect towards Carmine Corp from Tbates.
Even though they're the most dominant team in the region, well, Liquid's on the rise, obviously on the up and up, but yeah, obviously he still thinks Vatira's hard carrying that roster. Now you got Dazarin, who's putting Abjack number 1. I think Abjack was number 1 last major.
And I had him at number 1 last time too.
Yeah, but he's not number 1 anymore.
It's a prediction. Yeah, I'm predicting greatness.
Yeah, you predict where's Noli? You predict all of them top 7?
I'm predicting greatness.
Okay, if they're all top 7, then they have to sweep the bracket, right?
I have
That's what
your
you got.
whole team on there.
No, but you have your whole team top 7.
Because they're top 17. What?
No,
Top 17. What is? Of course, you're top 17. That doesn't really explain. I mean, all of the players in the top 7 of the
Yeah, they're gonna have a great major because they're gonna win.
in dominant fashion. They should 4-0 every team if they're all top 7.
Listen,
We've got some other to take the heat off Daz, because obviously he's beaten it here, but Tbates has really stolen the show again with Hitachi at 19, all of Team Liquid 17 or below. He's got Chronic at 16. Like, there's some really horrendous Tbates takes here as usual. But Yummy Cheese Man wants to give Hitachi the number 1, which is really bold. He's going big on Hitachi there. And then CJ in the middle has actually stolen all the hype that Tbates was putting on Alpha 54 by putting Alpha 54 in 4th. Like, CJ is now the biggest Alpha 54 fan. He's got him at 4th overall. So yeah, he also has Atomic at 18.
List.
Yeah, and no Redosin, no Sizen, just Alpha 54 at 4th, Atomic in 18th for CJ as well. So if he'd flipped those two, I think people would have thought, wow, he's got a really good list here, but you got Alpha 54 up there. And he likes Raise Bull as well. CJ needs everybody to know that the Bull is going to perform. The sheer size of the man on LAN is going to intimidate his opponents and have them missing the ball.
Just the size of him.
Yeah. Yeah, he was very big on the physical aspect in real life, in not just demos, but yeah, the size of Oski, Raise Bull, like these men are they're very big compared to your average Rocket League player.
But he has
stature,
Jorius
so.
at 17.
Yeah, that's a strange one. I think he would have backed Jorius a bit more there, since he went big on Raise Bull and Oski, literally. But yeah, he didn't think so highly of Jorius.
I mean, when I'm thinking about the worst list, it has to be. I respect that FK at number 1 from Bates, but I mean, he's not here to defend himself. I wish he was, but he definitely did not perform on this list. But if I have to go somebody that's not Bates, the Bab, what are you doing, man?
Bro, what?
I don't.
Am I
understand.
being
don't get it.
trolled?
And then you even have like two Falcons players that high.
Yeah, because they're gonna have a good major. You don't think Ahmad and TRK aren't gonna have a good major?
Chad just predicted them to not even make it. Out
So we're listening to Twitch chat now.
No, but I think you would agree with them if they had that matchup.
If they had the matchup against Complexity?
Yeah.
No. I don't think it's
Complexity. You think Falcons beat Complexity if they play?
I don't think it's that clear cut. Because also the way for Falcons to get there is they're finishing 3rd in their group, which I don't think that they're gonna do. I think they'll probably finish like 2nd, maybe. That group is close, but that group B is close. There's total that it could be the only team I can predict winning that is K Corp winning the group. Everybody else is actually kind of a toss up. Which is why I even put Andy at 25.
Wait, no. I think didn't Chad have him coming out 2nd in the group?
Falcons, yeah, they did.
Wait. Oh, right, because if you win, you get a thing. Okay, so they're 2nd. And Complexity 2nd too. But I still think that that's a close match. If Falcons are second, then they're not playing bad.
Simple question, Daz. Who wins? Who wins, Falcons or Complexity, if they play?
Okay, fine. I'm saying Complexity wins.
Wait,
knew it.
so
We
this
knew
list
it.
is fraudulent.
But he doesn't have CRR.
But I didn't make the bracket. I'm just saying in a head-to-head, that's just how I feel. I didn't make
don't
the
have
bracket,
CR
though.
on the list. But you have Andy up there.
Yeah.
Shout out Andy.
Gotta shout out
he's
Andy.
been popping off, but
It's like just like how I got Super Lucky in there.
ow, I don't think this helps your case, bro.
I can't shout them out. I think they'll have a good event.
They could be honorable mentions. You could have said it right before you started the list with the real players in the top 25.
Oh my god! But then that's just fan service. It's not about fan service.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
That's crazy.
say the Bav. You got the what? You gotta get the chalked one here. Since it's
no
just because
exotic,
Tbates is not
no
here to defend
CRR.
himself.
No exotic for Daz or Tbates. Ridiculous. You
Oh,
gotta get him.
Exotic.
You gotta sneak him in there.
Hilarious.
You gotta sneak him in the bottom of the list, minimum.
Exotic is crazy. I said my piece on exotic though. I just
I don't know.
was
What would
K-Court.
What was it? What was the summary so chat can hold you accountable? Why is exotic gonna be below average as a
Below-
major player?
Is it below average? How many
Yeah, there's
players?
48 players in the majors, so if you're not top 24, you're below average.
Oh, because I feel like for Exotic to get on this list, he would have to really elevate. And I don't think he's been in a position with K-Corp that he needs to elevate. So I feel like he's just going to play kind of below, like average or below average. So it was just like, we could put a cam on him and I feel like I would go to sleep because Itachi Vatira is going to just do the work.
What?
I said this on your stream. I said I was going to go to sleep on your stream. Like, I don't feel like Exotic's like really eye-opening right now. And I don't think he'll be eye-opening at the major either.
I think it sounds like you just don't respect zero air roll bot Fennec Rocket League as much as you should.
Well, that's
need to
impossible to
understand.
say. I have Jack at 1.
Yeah, Jack is the biggest exotic fan. He's like trying to emulate exotic. He's like, this guy's onto something. He's just driving around with no air roll, single jumping into the ball. I need to do that. Like that. So Jack's based his whole gameplay off of exotic, and you got him at 1, and exotic's not on the list. Like,
I
We even have Dan doing it in 1v1 show matches where he goes bot mode, doesn't air roll.
I love Jack.
This guy's
but
paving the way, Daz, and you don't have him in the top 25.
paving the way is crazy. That's a crazy statement. I don't know about paving the
he's
way.
pioneering the bot Fennec playstyle, the zero air roll
Okay.
Fennec gameplay.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna just let y'all have it. And then what happens afterwards? I'll be right with my top spot once again. I'll take that one.
goodness.
And then you know what? Next time I'll play it on hard mode just like Johnny. Just start getting color coordinated matchups. I can't believe I lost that. Like what? Anyways, let's do some deep diving here. We'll move on to our next topic called Soaring High. This is us again talking about regions. Which region will perform better than expectations? Falcons underperformed in Rotterdam. We had talked about Falcons here. Of course, it seems like expectations for Falcons are kind of in the middle road, where some people are still expecting them to do well. Others would understand if they don't do as well, considering certain circumstances. They've kind of lowered the expectations there. But let's talk about it because we have some SAM teams in here as well, with Crew coming in, Team Secret as well, and then you have Ground Zero and Pioneers, and of course Gladiators from APAC. Is there any region that you guys feel will perform a bit better than I think what the majority of people are expecting them to perform at?
What's the expectations for? We want to start with OCE. What's the expectations for OCE? Ground Zero are expected to finish 3rd in their group.
Yep.
Pioneers are expected to lose their group.
Correct.
I don't think that they're going to do better than that. I think that's what they're going to do. So I would say not OCE, I guess, in answer to that question. What's expectations for South America to finish 2nd and last in their group?
Yeah,
And
so
maybe make top
yeah.
8. Well, chat actually had them finishing 9th, 12th, right? Team Secret. So
Yeah.
if that's
Chat-
expectations, I think Sam are gonna do better than the expectations. Consistently underrated region.
Where do you think they do better at? Is it Crew getting some matches, maybe sneaking out of Group A, or is it Secret having like a further bracket run?
I think Crew being competitive in Group A would already be above expectations for most people because most people don't know who Crew are. They're all LAN debut players, so everybody kind of expects them to show up and go 0-9 in group and then go home. But I think they're going to give some Group A teams a tough run for their money, play quite well, and then most likely lose the group. But yeah, I think just playing well, taking games off those teams would be exceeding expectations, right?
Yeah, I would say so. What do you feel? What do you think, Raul?
Yeah, I think a lot of people are underestimating South America. They always do this, like Johnny
Yeah.
said. And then Mina, this is Falcons.
Yeah, what's expectations for Falcons? I don't even know what expectations are for the general public. Chat had them going 9th, 12th. Is that the
Yeah.
general expectations to go 9th,
They
12th?
they get second in the group and they lose first round playoffs.
I think that's about right. I don't think that they'll exceed that. That's where I've got them going. So yeah, I think OCE and Falcons are probably going to do what people expect. I think South America could go better. I think Team Secret could make top 8. I think Crew could overperform compared to expectations. So yeah, I'd say Sam are the team. I'd be quicker to say APAC overperform than OCE or Mina in this one, just because people expect APAC to go 0-9 as well. If they take a game, they've outperformed expectations. So I think that's
A game.
it's more likely that they take a game off someone in groups than Falcons making top 8 this time. Because Falcons have kind of got a tough draw. They run into, if you make it out of Group B, Falcons group. That's also Vitality, Dignitas, and Karma Corp's group. If you finish second or third there, you're most likely playing against one of Gen G, Complexity, or Oxygen, one of those 3 teams. So it's a very, very difficult run to top 8 for Group B teams like Falcons.
Yeah, and I think going back to my list, I think I'm expecting top 8 from them. I think there'll probably be somebody from Group D coming out. I don't know. I feel like if they're doing well enough to be in second, that means that all the travel and things like that have kind of shaken off, and they're here to play. A matchup against K Corp also depends on how close that series goes. But coming out of that, going into a Group D matchup, sure, I can understand where the other teams will be the favorites going in, but I think that that's where my upset potential would be in those particular matchups, because I feel like everybody else is kind of used to playing a certain way, and I think Falcons also have a differentiating play style compared to Complexity, Oxygen, and Gen G. So to be able to see that, they may surprise a team in Group D coming out of the group stage. So I would say I feel comfortable with a top 8. I think they'll be my team, and of course, I think Sam. Just because you can't underestimate Sam, just shouldn't do that. It's not good. We've been through that long enough.
What's the expectations for NA and EU here? Because I feel like there's a range. If we're talking average Rocket League LAN for the past year, I think NA is going to overperform relative to all of the Rocket League LANs in the past year. But if we're looking at Winter Major last year, I think that's going to be tough to replicate for NA. That was their best LAN last year, so this is the chance to do that again. So it really just depends what boat you're in. If you think NA is going to replicate Winter Major last year, then I'd say probably not that. I don't think they're going to go that strong. It's probably underperform. But if you're just thinking a normal Rocket League LAN, like the 5 we've already had, 5 we've already had in our LCS Open era, then I guess NA overperform for me this time.
Is that the amount of teams that NA is gonna have representing in top 8 or top 4, or what do you?
Yeah, so average for NA in top 8 is 3 at Rocket League Live. If you look at all of last season, NA and EU both averaged 3 teams in the top 8, and then there's 1 Mina, 1 Sam. This past fall major, NA again had 3 in the top 8, so I think 4 for NA this time is probably what they're going to get.
Yeah,
that's what I'd say. So I'd say relative to an average Rocket League line, I think NA is going to overperform. I think they're going to be better than expectations if those are your expectations. I know a lot of people are expecting a repeat of Winter Major. So
yeah, I was gonna say, if you look back to the last Winter Major, there was 3 NA teams in the top 4.
Mm-hmm. And 4 in the top 6 actually. They were very, very top heavy NA finish. Only NRG missed top 8 for NA.
Yep.
Yeah, I could see it. I could see NA. I guess if we're doing it off that overperforming, they would. I think I could see 4 teams making it. Yeah, so I would agree with you.
I'm looking.
So what is it for
Yeah.
EU then? 3 as well?
Yeah, I suppose relative to last year's Winter Major, if you think that EU is going to perform like they did last year's Winter Major, then I would say no. I think EU is going to overperform relative to that, but underperform relative to like your average Rock League LAN. The EU's won most of them, so I don't think they're winning this one. I think they got 4 teams in the top 8 in the fall. I think maybe 3 this time for EU is what I'm leaning towards. So I think EU underperforms. NA and SAM overperform. But for me, I don't even think it's an overperformance for SAM to make a top 8 anymore. I'm just talking like relative to what most people expect.
Yeah.
For some reason, and no one ever expects South America to make top 8, and then they do. So I think they could do it again.
I mean, clearly this chat
EU winning.
This chat has EU overperforming. We know that.
Yeah, definitely.
if we're going by Twitch chat, this is G1's tournament. So
it shouldn't be too surprising. I did predict Gen G to win the last LAN. They're a North American team. I predicted FaZe to win this one. They're a North American team. Like I don't just predict EU every time. Like, I know you guys in First Touch are used to Tbates showing up in this little slot in the camera every week, and wherever team Atomic's playing for, he says they're going to win the LAN. Like, consistent every 5 out of 5, he said Atomic's going to win. So I'm not about that. I'm going to say, who I think is going to win. FaZe look like the team right now, who are favorites to win it, like Gen G did last time. But it's definitely close. It's very close. There's a lot of teams who could win this. They're in with a shot.
yeah, definitely a lot of teams that could have a shot here. Guys at home, let us know what you think too about region expectations to see, who you think could have a chance to kind of underperform. I know Twitch chat had a vote, but of course some of these votes are a little close and everybody's gonna have the same opinion. So let us know there. Now we talked about overperforming, but let's talk about people living up to expectations with Ice Time. Who is under the most pressure to win? Reports surfacing that this is the easiest major yet. Who said reports? Reports from who? I think that's a base.
Whose title is this?
It's a Bates title.
Bates had to have wrote this. Let's go to the globe and look at some of the teams, the kind of like team highlight wipe as we get into that. That being said,
it's a Bates title, confirmed. Production confirmed it's a Bates title. It's just like, do you know what this is? I think this is Bates trying to like pre-jump FaZe winning by saying, see, I told y'all this is the easiest major. That's just when they win it.
I like the accent, Johnny. Yeah, I told y'all.
Okay, and you know what? I wonder who got the clips too as well. So now we know this is the base topic. We're looking at clips between some highlights. Oh, Itachi with a goal.
tap-ins.
Yeah, you got an Itachi tap in there. This is
ridiculous.
interesting.
What has teammates done? You just went and find an Itachi tap in, not like the double reset.
Oh, then the Chronic with a wave dash pass exotic.
Yeah, he's got
Interesting.
exotic. I could already hear what Tbates was planning to say during this segment. Then another tap in from Itachi. Exotic. Yep, not fast enough. Oh, exotic mishits. Still gets the goal. Yeah, this is a Tbates topic written all over it. It's just crazy. Yeah, he's got Itachi getting outplayed. Yeah. This is insane.
Wait,
Yeah, Vatira carry.
way.
Yeah, it's all there.
Everything's there. I think this is like a 2.5 minute highlight package, by the way. Look at this. Boop. So far,
you
it's
can
only been
spin
K-Corp
any
and Liquid.
Based on this, you'd really think that Vatira has just been 1v3ing, but yeah, I'd say Itachi's been the online MVP for Europe this split, for me personally. Even better than Vatira, although Vatira was very impressive. But yeah, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know based on this highlight package Tbates has put together for himself.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, he
Okay.
put an exotic goal in there. Look at that.
He did. That was an OT winner. And then the 1-2 skipped to my
Oh
loop.
gosh.
Look at the giant work. And then we
Oh,
shifted over to
goodness.
G2 versus FaZe.
Wait, he has G2 getting scored on.
Yeah.
Oh wait, again.
Oh, he's got first killer with 2 goals in a row. Okay, hold on.
This is interesting.
Like we're like discovering Tbates' mind right now. We're not even answering the question.
Right.
I feel like that's really the interesting thing to do here is figure out what story is Tbates trying to tell us, because this is his segment. He's not here to tell you guys about it, but we do our best to download his thoughts. Did he skip the G2 win here? Did he just leave that out?
I think
Yeah, it
so.
seems like it. We're in game 3 right now. We're in game 3 in the overtime here.
He's
He did
definitely
tell
thinking
me.
about something about FaZe.
Tbates did tell me that in this final, that G2, if they had won that overtime game 3, they were winning the final. So he did say that to me. I can't say I agree with that logic. I think FaZe were pretty comfortably the better team. But G2 did get their best result of the year so far. So that's something. A good result going into the major.
Agreed. That being said, who is under the most pressure? This looks like right now, it looked like we saw Liquid, K Corp, that closeness in terms of the matchup, which we had discussed a bit earlier, but also you saw FaZe Clan just being on top, winning that last grand final. So in terms of pressure, how are we feeling? I think initially for me, especially if we talk about FaZe, I would say that there's a lot of pressure for FaZe Clan because they're doing so well. I'm looking at Raw as I say this. They're doing so well, but at the same time, they haven't gotten past the top 4 at a LAN yet. So I feel like, and this is, maybe Raul might have to have a speech or something before, because I'm expecting FaZe to get into that semifinal. But as soon as they get into the semifinal, I feel like there's some kind of energy shift. Like it's going to be more pressure than the grand final. I feel like if they win the semifinal, they win the whole thing, but they got to win the semi first. Am I wrong? Am I wrong at all?
I mean, what I'm gonna say to that is we got to win every matchup in the bat. We got to win every matchup. But that semifinals is always a block in the heads. But going forward, I think we've kind of overcame that. I think we've overcame it on the online sense, but it's definitely something that's in the back of our mind. We hate being called fourth clan. Like it doesn't even matter. We win a couple regionals, people will still say fourth clan. Like it's nonstop. It doesn't even matter. We will win this major and people will still say fourth clan. It's what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, it's something that we're always. Something's always in the back of our head, and we're like, yo, we got to move by this. That's our block that we're like constantly punching at. Our brick wall we're constantly punching at. We're breaking through that. So moving forward, I wouldn't think that we have the most expectations on us though. I think it's K Corp actually, with the amount of fans, the underperformance that they had at the last major, and how good we've seen them perform this split so far. I think it would be K Corp. Vatira being known as the best player in Europe still, even though Itachi has outshined them this split. But even Itachi coming into his own, now they're even stronger than before. I would say K Corp, especially with their fans. Their fans are one of the most passionate fan bases in Rocket League. I think they would have the most pressure on them this major.
Yeah, probably Gen G as well, right? Because they have to prove that they're still that team. Even though they're the number 2 seed in North America right now, they have to prove that they're still they're the defending LAN champions. So I think there's a lot of pressure on them and their group to win that group, or if they end up in the bracket, to make a deep run from the round 1 of the bracket. So yeah, Gen G, FaZe, KC all have a lot of pressure on them. Liquid are supposed to win their group pretty comfortably, but I don't think they're under that much pressure to do it. I think they're kind of flying under the radar a little bit. So I'd say FaZe, KC, Gen G, the most pressure for me.
Okay. I hear what you're saying about Liquid. I think maybe not publicly they're under a lot of public pressure, but I feel like in their camp, like they know that they can win events. Last major, they lost out to Gen G, who ended up winning the whole thing. They play close to them, so they know that they can beat the best teams, but they haven't beaten the best teams. They haven't won the major yet. And they've been together a long time. When rosters are together for a long time like that, and they're not necessarily winning the entire event, but they're getting close to it, sometimes that can create a little bit of discourse. I don't think it's really hit the Liquid roster, which is a good thing for them. but I'm sure there is a level of frustration that is there. It may not be as large as the other teams, but I did want to kind of piggyback off that. In terms of K Corp, yeah, I think Carmine Corp is the team that is under the most pressure. I think everyone has called them, especially especially people like Stumpy, will call them the best team in the world. Vatir is so amazing. XYZ, sorry to throw you in there, Stumpy, for watching, but you're just first person that came to mind. I don't think of somebody like that. But I think that with them, and even the way that they talk online, like Vatir and everybody else, they want to be the best team in the world. All they care about is winning every single matchup. You do an interview with Itachi, and Itachi can say it as much as he doesn't like to. Yeah, we're not thinking about it. We just want to win. But I think for them, being the best is kind of been their standard, or not their standard, but where the bar is set. So if not, I feel like for them at least making grand finals, but that's crazy expectations on a team though, saying at least making grand finals. But this is the league though. So I'm going Carmine Corp there. FaZe, yeah, not too much pressure. Just make it to the semifinals. You'll be okay. Be okay, bro.
Nah, we trying to win, man. Come on, I'm sick of this.
I will address Johnny in the Gen G statement. Listen, Gen G, honestly, I feel like now that FaZe is on top, this might be really good for them, because going into the season, they didn't expect to be as dominant as they were in the fall. And now that FaZe doing better, obviously there is that frustration. I know Jack wants to win and then do well and things like that. But I feel like since the all-seeing eye of who's the best team in the world isn't necessarily on Gen G, they're a little bit more comfortable. But of course, I think that they're expecting to at least make a top 4 run or something like that. Just not a finals winning the whole thing type beat. They're not.
They're gonna feel pressure. So when they load into that lobby against Oxygen, they're gonna feel a ton of pressure because of what happened in the fall major when they played. They got destroyed. Like I talked to the Gen G players after that one. They said they were embarrassed. They'd never had such an embarrassing loss in their careers. So I've got to think when they load into that lobby with Oxygen again, they're gonna be nervous. That's the last match of the group. So who knows what has happened up until that point. But even if that's playing for first seed, if that's playing for just like second, third seed, wherever it is, I think they're going to be very nervous. A ton of pressure on them to not have a repeat of that result, as well as playoff nerves. So yeah, that's why I wanted to throw Gen G into that discussion.
Very interesting. Very interesting. I don't think that's the case.
And also G2 have a ton of pressure on them because Atomic from G1 has said on an RLCS post qualifying for the event interview, he said it on the main stream, this stream, that he's looking forward to that matchup because Atomic from G2 dodged him in Gamers 8. So I think G2 will probably be quite nervous there. Even if they don't admit it, I think they're going to be quite nervous. They want to defend. They want to get G2 over G1, Atomic over beating Atomic. Like, that's just such a unique situation that it's impossible to...
Wait, do you think G2 is going to be nervous, or do you think Atomic's going to be nervous?
I think G2 are going to be nervous, personally. I think G1 could be nervous in their opener against FaZe, but I think they're playing G2 last. No, sorry, second in the group. So, yeah, that's match 2. I think they're probably going to be pretty settled down by then. Yeah, and any LAN jitters will be out of the way. Yeah, I think G2 are nervous because they're supposed to win that. I think that the pressure is always on the team who are supposed to win. G2 are supposed to win. So I think G2 are definitely going to be nervous, even though they probably won't admit it, to play G1.
Okay, true. Also, guys, just so you guys know, the RLCS Winter Major Primer is out, by the way. Just go to RL Esports on Twitter if you guys want information. April 6th, group stages, we're talking about this. Rounds 1 and 2 of all groups will be played on Thursday. So that means that talk about the Atomic thing, G2 will play Crew, and then later on in the day, they will play G1, all in that same day. So... I think if G2, especially if they have that shaky start, if they have a shaky start against Crew, G2 could be in a very bad spot.
They'll be super nervous if they lose to Crew. If G2 loses to Crew in their opener, they're going to be unbelievably nervous against G1 because G2 are supposed to make it out of that group pretty comfortably. If they lose their opener, suddenly they're playing G1. they're playing G1 Atomic. Like G1, G2 Atomic is gonna have the most nervous, high-pressure series of his life in that situation. Like that's just.
He's gonna need a brown paper bag.
How do you prepare for that? He's like, I've never played a player called Atomic before in RLCS. This is insane.
and the last time I had a chance, I dodged him. So.
And then it would go into that next day where they would play in front of a crowd against FaZe Clan. And that could be a make or break in terms of their group stage. So that'll be very, very interesting. But guys, real quick, we have one more topic before the show closes. I just want to hit on it real quick. LAN winners. This one is about the winter major champion. Who is taking home the winter major? We'll go majority vote on this unless we all three pick different teams. Then we're just going to have to just go with different teams on this one. But I'm going to get it out the way. I'm going GG again. GG Mobile One Racing our winter major.
Bro, wow.
They're the best team in the world. And they're going to show up and show out. All right.
Wait, Johnny, did you expect that? Was that
I saw that coming just as much as I see your own prediction coming. Really.
Wait, but I know yours too.
Yeah, I told you, but I mean, I'm not paid to say it, so it's more of a surprise perhaps. But obviously, Roldays, you have to be predicting yourself to win this one, right?
100%. I think we're more in sync than we ever have been, and moving into this major, it's not gonna stop. So Daz, I'm sorry, and Johnny's on my side too, so. The team predicts correctly.
But yeah, if I had to predict a different team,
Johnny, stop!
I'd probably say Carmine Corp. I'm only saying this because I think my grand final was FaZe Carmine Corp. So that's my second favorite to win it would be KC. Sorry, Daz.
That's okay. That's understandable. Just to make Raw feel better, I have your FaZe Clan as my second pick.
Oh, okay.
That's my second pick. If GG can't make it, you got to carry the flag.
And that we will. The NA's last hope. I never thought I'd be in the position calling this NA's last hope. And now I'm a part of the squad.
Welcome to the crew. Chat, those are our predictions on who's going to win the winter major. Of course, we won't be able to get Bates' prediction, but maybe he'll stream or do something later. Like I said, going into the show today, Johnny, first of all, thank you. It was such short notice, but you were able to come on and fill in for Tbates. It really does mean a lot to us.
No, thanks for having me. As always, I tried my best to fill in the massive hole that Bates has left here in the show. But I hope he can. Hope he can feel better later today. He's not feeling great today, but he's fine. He's fine. Just in case anyone's worried, didn't hear us talk about him earlier. He's good. But yeah, I hope he's feeling better later today. He couldn't join us. Glad to fill in. Hope you guys have a great time watching the winter major. Hope you have a great major yourself. Roll days, coaching FaZe and Dazarin. I hope it's everything you want it to be. I hope it's there, even though Genji might not win. Well, hope it still lives up to expectations.
I think it will. No matter how Genji do it. I think this major, particularly for me, will go to expectations. So, but that being said, Johnny, thank you so much. Of course, Raul, of course, for being you. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate that. You didn't cause me a scare to have to replace both of you today. Everyone in chat, of course, thank you guys for watching too. Like we said, let us know at First Touch RL on Twitter with who you guys think is going to win the winter major. Chat! Oh my gosh! We're a week away! People are going to start flying into San Diego. Some people are already flying in now. We got the primer out. Make sure to go to RLE Sports on Twitter so you can see all of the info that you need to know for the winter major. And enjoy DreamHack San Diego. If you're going, try to take as much pictures as possible. Have a good time. Be kind to each other, of course, especially on that. First Touch will be at the Winter Major. I believe it's Saturday, Sunday pre-show, so you want to tune in for that. I think some people are getting pied. Don't quote me on that, but I think it might happen. But there's also going to be a bunch of other stuff that will be going on at the Major. You won't want to miss it. Of course, that being said, there's still Rocket League going on this weekend. CRL Last Chance qualifier for the World Championship will be Saturday and Sunday. So twitch.tv/Rocket League will be live on Saturday, Sunday for the LCQ. You're going to want to check that out as well, because that one will also be happening, I believe, at DreamHack Dallas, which will be a little bit later on this year. So lots of Rocket League. It's LAN time. Teams are getting involved. We're all going to be traveling and stuff. So I will see you guys at San Diego as well. Love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in to First Touch this week. And on behalf of all the staff, everyone in Psionics, much love. Love you guys. And 1, 2, to the loo. We'll see you at the major.